Milestone, tributes, and heartfelt.
That's milestone, tributes, and heartfelt. Okay, let's have a look at your first news headline, please.
Yep, the first one comes from The Independent, which is based in the UK, and the headline reads, Queen pictured working in new image released for 70-year milestone.
Milestone, important point in someone's life.
Yes. Now, you've just said it's an important point in someone's life, but let's break this word up to see its origin.
Rồi thì ok, hello. Và ở trong cái mục này thì có nhiều anh em ở video trước đã thắc mắc với mình là làm thế nào để có thể sử dụng cái sổ huấn luyện viên này như này, và cái sổ huấn luyện viên này nó có vai trò như thế nào. Thì ở video này mình sẽ hướng dẫn anh em cách sử dụng cái sổ huấn luyện viên này nhá. Còn bây giờ thì intro cho mình nhá, là anh em 5 quyển sổ huấn luyện viên trung cấp đừng nên đổi hết. Rồi đấy, cái là lưu ý thứ nhất của mình. Và cái lưu ý thứ hai thì anh em cần phải có cho mình là một huấn luyện viên 4 sao trở lên. 3 sao sẽ không, huấn luyện viên 3 sao thì nó sẽ không thể sử dụng được cái sổ huấn luyện viên sơ cấp và sổ huấn luyện viên trung cấp. Thì ở đây mình có 10 và 12 này. Rồi thì sử dụng như thế nào? Rồi thì sử dụng huấn luyện viên như thế nào? Sổ huấn luyện viên như thế nào? Thì ở đây đấy, như mình đã nói, nếu mà huấn luyện viên 3 sao thì có sử dụng được không? Câu trả lời của mình là không. Nếu mà nâng hết đấy, nó chỉ được như vậy thôi, nó không có cái để sử dụng. Còn đây mình sẽ nâng cái của thằng mình cần mấy thằng tiền đạo 4 sao trước đây. Đây ví dụ như đây nhá. Đó. Đây mình nhấn click được hẳn level 5 luôn. Tức là bậc 4 sao và chúng ta đã có thể nâng lên được level 5 là max. Đó, tài liệu đào tạo cần thiết. Đây, 10 sổ sơ cấp và 5 về sổ trung cấp. Các bạn có hiểu không ạ? Rồi. Thì ở đây sau khi mà ấn xong thì chúng ta sẽ mất là 790 CP và 9 triệu BP. Rồi, ấn xác nhận. Đó. Chúng ta đã tăng được rồi và mình đã hết sổ. Đấy, đòi lại là rất là đơn giản thôi. Là mình đã hướng dẫn anh em cách làm thế nào có thể sử dụng sổ sơ cấp, thì anh em cần phải tích khá là nhiều để có thể sử dụng được. Cho anh em chưa biết thì ok, video của mình hướng dẫn thì ngắn gọn như thế này thôi. Mà nếu anh em thấy thích thì quên để lại cho mình một like và một sub để mình có thêm động lực làm tiếp video tiếp theo. Còn bây giờ thì xin chào và hẹn gặp lại. Bye bye.
Anh lạc vào trong mơ, thấy em ở trong đó, định chạm vào bờ môi gió nhưng khi gần kề em miên man. Baby can you kiss me, ở sâu trong tâm trí, bàn tay em sát bên anh có thể nắm được chặt lấy. Nếu đây là giấc mơ thì hãy để anh chỉ tận gió. Anh không muốn thức dậy để lỡ một má em nữa đâu. Nếu em có giống anh thì hãy đưa tay chạm vào nhau, vì anh tìm phép nhiễm máu rơi bên giấc mơ đến sự thật. Kiss baby kiss me more, kiss me more, kiss baby kiss me more, kiss me more, kiss baby kiss me more, kiss me more, kiss baby kiss me more, kiss me more. Tắt cuộc tình chỉ trong vài giây, đi ngang tâm trí trong một thoáng chốc, đêm lại từng từ tim sẽ ngất ngây. Nhắc đến tươi tắn nhớ đến môi em, nhắc đến ánh nắng nhớ đến nụ cười, nhắc đến ấm áp như đôi tay ấy. Mỗi buổi chiều đông ấm cả vai gầy, vòng dọc quanh em không cần váy ngắn, anh không cần SH, vẫn ấm không cần chăn, bụng ta vẫn căng tròn, ta không cần nhà hàng, nụ cười em vẫn hé, cái quan bạc anh trả, ta yêu không cầu kỳ, từ đơn giản nhất, yêu từ cách nhìn đến mái tóc em phảng phất, anh cho một lý do, em bỏ một son môi, em cho một câu nói tóc. Nếu đây là giấc mơ thì hãy để anh chỉ tận sâu. Anh không muốn thức dậy để lỡ một má em nữa đâu. Nếu em có giống anh thì hãy đưa phép nhiễm màu rơi bên giấc mơ thành sự thật. Ở trong mơ anh thấy em thật yêu kiều, lướt qua bao chàng trai đến bên nắm tay anh trao nụ hôn nhẹ khẽ đưa ánh mắt chạm nhau. Từng câu môi gọi mời xuyên xa, làm tránh đi những câu đùa nơi thật em làm anh đau. Anh cố gắng cứ cười để che đi nỗi buồn tim sâu. Nếu em có yêu anh thì trả lời anh để yêu lâu. Em đừng cười như thế, nó tim của anh bị slow mo. Kiss baby, kiss me more. Kiss me more. Kiss baby, kiss me more. Kiss me more. Kiss baby, kiss me more. Kiss me more. Kiss baby, kiss me more. Kiss me more.
Mây mang bao yêu thương gửi chào em, ngàn khúc hát cho ngày xanh thật dịu êm. Đôi môi yêu thương trong sáng còn ngát hương, ngày yêu dấu cho tình anh sẽ mãi thương. Dịu dàng hương hoa em đến bên đời ta, bầu trời chợt thắm mang yêu dấu vào khúc ca. Ngày xanh như hoa, tình yêu sẽ không phai nhòa. Lặng nhìn cơn mơ, nhẹ du em vào vần thơ ngàn câu ca đến bên bầu trời. Tình mình để biết bao nhiêu, dịu dàng như nắng mai hiền cho khóe môi được bình yên. Dịu lại một chút hương thơm cho đời, ngọt ngào tiếng ca để em đến bên đời ta, rồi dịu dàng lại hóa thiên tha. Ngần muôn hoa thắm trong một buổi chiều tháng 3, tình ta như hoa ngọt ngào giữa khung trời bao la. Tình yêu nhiệm màu dìu nhau qua cơn bão giông, để ta trông ngóng vào một tình yêu màu hồng. Bao vần thơ nhẹ ru khi ánh nắng vẫn còn vương, đôi mi em vẫn thương. Nhẹ trao hết bao câu ca, tình ta sẽ không xa cùng trời. Kia dịu êm ngàn câu ca đến bên bầu trời. Tình mình để biết bao nhiêu, dịu dàng như nắng mai hiền cho khóe môi được bình yên. Dịu lại một chút hương thơm cho đời, ngọt ngào tiếng ca để em đến bên đời ta, rồi dịu dàng lại hóa thiên tha. Ngàn muôn hoa thắm trong một buổi chiều tháng 3, tình ta như hoa ngọt ngào giữa khung trời bao la. Tình yêu nhiệm màu dìu nhau qua cơn bão giông, để ta trông ngóng vào một tình yêu màu hồng. Dịu dàng hương hoa em đến bên đời ta, bầu trời chợt thắm mang yêu dấu vào khúc ca. Ngày xanh như hoa, tình yêu sẽ không phai nhòa. Lặng nhìn cơn mơ, nhẹ du em vào vần thơ ngàn câu ca đến bên bầu trời. Tình mình để biết bao nhiêu, dịu dàng như nắng mai hiền cho khóe môi được bình yên. Dịu lại một chút hương thơm cho đời, ngọt ngào tiếng ca để em đến bên đời ta, rồi dịu dàng lại hóa thiên tha. Ngần muôn hoa thắm trong một buổi chiều tháng 3, tình ta như hoa ngọt ngào giữa khung trời bao la. Tình yêu nhiệm màu dìu nhau qua cơn bão giông, để ta trông ngóng vào một tình yêu màu hồng. Người yêu hỡi, nếu em là lung linh pháo hoa, anh sẽ là con sông thiết tha. Mọi khoảnh khắc đều được ánh sáng em chiếu soi. Người yêu hỡi, nếu em là ngôi sao quá xa, anh xin thầm ước mong được là đôi mắt luôn nhìn ngắm lên bầu trời, dù cô đơn vây quanh luôn dõi theo mình em. Nguyện làm chiếc bóng của người yêu thương, cứ ôm mộng mơ đuổi theo ánh dương, tựa như trước mắt nhưng thật xa xăm, cứ âm thầm thương nhưng chẳng nên cầu. Vì đâu mỗi lúc ngước nhìn lên cao, nước mắt lại rơi lòng buồn biết bao. Người là ánh sáng chân trời xa xôi, còn riêng tôi thấy sao xa vời. Người yêu hỡi, nếu em là ngàn đom đóm bay, thêm sắc màu trong đêm gió lay, như bàn tay nhẹ nhàng anh vẽ em lúc này. Một nàng thơ với nụ cười làm anh ngất ngơ, đang theo đuổi ước mơ thật xa, và anh biết không thể khiến em dừng lại. Hãy để anh theo sau mãi mãi bên cạnh nhau. Nguyện làm chiếc bóng của người yêu thương, cứ ôm mộng mơ đuổi theo ánh dương, tựa như trước mắt nhưng thật xa xăm, cứ âm thầm thương nhưng chẳng nên cầu. Vì đâu mỗi lúc ngước nhìn lên cao, nước mắt lại rơi lòng buồn biết bao. Người là ánh sáng chân trời xa xôi, còn riêng tôi biết đâu xa vời. Tựa như chiếc bóng luôn ở sau lưng, cứ ôm mộng mơ đuổi theo ánh dương, tựa như trước mắt nhưng thật xa xăm, cứ âm thầm thương nhưng chẳng nên cầu. Vì đâu mỗi lúc ngước nhìn lên cao, nước mắt lại rơi lòng buồn biết bao. Tình yêu như lúc mưa rào trong đêm, dù mưa tan chẳng thấy cầu vồng. Một phố lỡ là nở phai và đôi má đêm, anh đã vội đem con tim trả về em. Châm lấy hồn anh từ sâu thẳm, miên man say sưa như ngày nắng, cho anh mang chút tương tư vào dòng thơ. Nhẹ nhàng đã có những bối rối khi yêu thương lên ngôi, chìm đắm câu ca trên mô đã lỡ say. Đất theo rộn vàng muôn ngàn lối, vẫn mong rằng em ở cạnh tôi. Rồi từng đêm qua đi lòng anh thêm xuyên sao, anh đã lạc vào cả một bầu trời yêu dấu này, một bầu trời ngát xanh thêm nhẹ lên màu yêu đó. Anh đã lạc vào cả một bầu trời thương nhớ này, tràn ngập ngàn ngát ngây nhưng xin em ngày chung đôi. Vậy muốn đời làm đôi tay, đi cùng em phiêu du khắp chốn đất trời mây. Muốn thấy nụ cười ấy luôn rạng rỡ trên đôi môi em thêm nồng say. Ở giữa cuộc đời này những suy tư chơi với phong bạc cứ bên anh, sợ đôi lời ngoài đầu bóng gió quên đi nơi anh xoa mong manh, nâng khen chạm bờ vai vẫn luôn ở đây cho tiếng những ngày bạn mai. Nhạc đã có những bối rối khi yêu thương lên ngôi, chìm đắm câu ca trên mô đa lướt say. Đứt theo rộn vàng muôn ngả lối, vẫn mong rằng em ở cạnh tôi. Rồi từng đêm qua đi lòng anh thêm xuyên xa. Anh đã lạc vào cả một bầu trời yêu dấu này, một bầu trời ngát xanh thêm nhẹ lên màu yêu đó. Anh đã lạc vào cả một bầu trời thương nhớ này, tràn ngập ngàn ngát ngây nhưng xin em ngày chung đôi. Anh đã lạc vào, ôi anh đã lạc vào nơi đâu, giữa khung trời yêu mộng mơ không lối sai. Giặt rào tầm hương hoa đến lại đây ngàn vẫn vui. Anh đã lạc vào cả một bầu trời yêu dấu này, một bầu trời ngát xanh thêm nhẹ lên màu yêu đó. Anh đã lạc vào cả một bầu trời thương nhớ này, tràn ngập ngàn ngát ngây nhưng xin em ngày chung đôi. Xe đạp lách cách tôi vẫn chưa quen, đường thì tôi chơi vơi còn tôi vẫn cứ đứng đợi. Em nhẹ bước đến như đã thôi hẹn, trời chờ gió eo mây vì tôi đã lỡ yêu em. Cũng may đường về nhà em quá xa, tôi mới được trông ngóng em buông lời hát. Nhớ thương lạnh nhìn em thoáng qua, ơi đừng trôi mãi mặc kệ em với tôi đi về. Mới chỉ nhìn em khóc tôi bỗng chợt nhận ra đã yêu em rồi. Sáng trong cho mình trôi do ánh mắt em trong lòng tôi, ngập ngừng chưa nói phải giờ để cho anh.
Thought that you remembered since I forgot. It's hard for me to blame when you were a little lost. Oh yeah, I'm tired always waiting. Oh yeah, yeah. I see you change your number, that's why you don't get my calls. I gave you all of me, now you don't wanna be involved. Oh yeah, yeah. I've only got a face. Oh yeah, yeah.
I just wanna be the one, but till you're already done. Tell me why do you have to hit and run me now? I'm all alone crying ugly. You broke my heart just for fun, took my love and just left me numb. Now it's 8 in the morning, 8 in the morning, all because of you.
And all the story that's said and true, I can feel the pain, can you? You had to be the one to let me down, to cover me blue.
Hate to see you with someone new, I'll put a cursor on you. Ain't no looking back now, you're dead and gone. My love is gone too.
Oh, my love is gone. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, my love is gone. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, my love is gone. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, my love is gone. Now you're dead and gone.
Oh, my love is gone and the head is gone, standing all alone. And I'm searching for something, but I can't feel nothing.
I've had my bags and go. This one feel like home. Too much on this foreign road. I feel to use. I'm a surface live without you. I refuse.
I just wanna be the one, but till you're already done. Tell me why do you have to hit and run me now? I'm all alone crying ugly. You broke my heart just for fun. Took my love and just left me numb. Now it's 8 in the morning, 8 in the morning, all because of you.
And all the story that's said and true, I can feel the pain, can you? You had to be the one to let me down, to color me blue.
Hate to see you with someone new. I'll put a cursor on you. Ain't no looking back now, you're dead and gone. My love is gone too.
Oh, my love is gone. Oh, my love is gone. Gone, gone, gone. Oh, my love is gone. Oh, my love is gone. Now you're dead and gone.
Fuck you and your mom and your sister and your job and your broke ass car and that shit you call art. Fuck you and your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off. I swear I meant to mean the best when it ended. Even tried to bite my tongue when you start shit. Now you're texting all my friends, asking questions, and never even liked you in the first place. Dated a girl that I hate for the attention. She only made it 2 days with a connection. It's like you'd do anything for my affection. You're going all about it in the worst ways. I was into you, but I'm over it now. And I was trying to be nice, but nothing's getting through, so let me spell it out. A, B, C, D, E, F, you and your mom and your sister and your job and your broke ass car and that shit you call art. Fuck you and your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off. Na, 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 na. A, B, C, D, E, F, you said you just needed space, and so I gave it. When I had nothing to say, you couldn't take it. Told everyone I'm a bitch, so I became it. Always said to put yourself above me. I was into you, but I'm over it now. And I was trying to be nice, but nothing's getting through, so let me spell it out. A, B, C, D, E, F, you and your mom and your sister and your job and your Craigslist couch and the way your voice sounds. Fuck you and your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off. Na, 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 na. A, B, C, D, E, F, you. Na, 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 na. A, B, C, D, E, F, you and your mom and your sister and your job and your broke ass car and that shit you call art. Fuck you and your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off.
We couldn't turn around till we were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now, but no, it ain't too proud. I couldn't be there, even when I tried. You don't believe it. got to lose. Make up your mind, tell me what are you gonna do? It's only me, let it go. Seasons strange and our love went cold. Feed a flame cause we can't let it go. Right away, but we're running in circles. Right away, I dare you to do something. I'm waiting on you again, so I don't take a plan. Right away, but we're running in circles. Right away, right away, right away. We hug and yes, we make love, and no, we just say goodnight. And we cut a short right to love it, but I need your lips on mine. Can you kiss me more? We're so young, boy, we ain't got nothing to lose. Oh, oh, it's just principle. Baby, hold me, cause I like the way you groove. Oh, oh, boy, write your name, I can do the same. Ooh, I love the taste. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Boy, write your name, I can do the same. Ooh, I love the taste. La, 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 la. Can you kiss me more? We're so young, boy, we ain't got nothing to lose. Oh, oh, it's just principle. Baby, hold me, cause I like the way you groove. Oh, oh, boy, write your name, I can do the same. Ooh, I love the taste. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Boy, write your name, I can do the same. Ooh, I love the taste. La, 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 la. Say, give me a buff for the Gucci stuff. Who's telling me no, you ain't good enough? All your friends say that you lost without me. Oh, my bitch feel like a dog, they county. Fucking with you feel like jail, boy. I can't even exhale, boy. Pussy like holy grail, you know that. You gon' make me need bail, you know that. Come to me with your friend, you ain't even have my line on that. You know that. Come here back from a break, you know that. Control the slow, the pace, and fast go back. Oh, this is for real. Drama make you feel fantasy and whip a pill. It's all I can give. Can you kiss me more? We're so young, boy, we ain't got nothing to lose. Oh, oh, it's just principle. Baby, hold me, cause I like the way you groove. Oh, oh, oh. Boy, write your name, I can do the same. Oh, I love the taste. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Boy, write your name, I can do the same. Oh, I love the taste. La, 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 la. Hey, yeah. Oh. Can you kiss me more? I might lose my mind, waking when the sun's down. writing all these eyes, waiting for the calm down. What is real with me? I'm doing this late, just glad that I can breathe. Yeah, I'm trying to realize it's alright to now be fine on your wall. Now I'm shaking, drinking all this coffee. This last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and it's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? And it's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Ain't got much to do. Too old for my hometown. I went to bed at noon. Couldn't put my phone down. Scrolling facially, it's all the same to me. Just faces on the screen. Hey, I'm trying to realize it's alright to now be fine on your wall. Now I'm shaking, drinking all this coffee. This last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and it's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? And it's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? And it's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? I might be better on my own. I hate you blowing up my phone. I wish I never met your ass. Sometimes it be like that, but I'm not myself the night you're gone. There ain't no way I'm moving on. I'm not afraid, I need your bed. Sometimes it be like that. We both wanna fight, we both wanna argue until the boat rain. You wanna hug, I can't say goodnight. Baby, we both just out of my mind. And you draw trends, I'm right at twisting up. My medicine is fixing us. Can't tell you why, if I tell you what. You got me thinking I might be better on my own. I hate you blowing up my phone. I wish I never met your ass. Sometimes it be like that, but I'm not myself the night you're gone. There ain't no way I'm moving alone. I'm not afraid, I need your bed. Sometimes it be like that. Wasn't even supposed to be rich. Yeah, niggas crazy in the night. I cannot say rich. And I could keep you nice and warm when you're not thinking I'm in love. If I was to give you the world, there's anything you can think of. Yeah, got so much going to be upset. I swear I'll let it be your friend. I say I'm gonna be right back. It hurts sometimes to be like that. I might be better on my own. I hate you blowing up my phone. I wish I never met your ass. Sometimes it be like that, but I'm not myself the night you're gone. There ain't no way I'm moving alone. I'm not afraid, I need Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes when you thought you found the love of your life, now you think I'm just one of those guys leaning on. I can't let when you read it wrong. Don't know why I trip on this. You put me down, I figure out. Can't tell you why, but tell you what. You call me thinking I might be better on my own. I hate you blowing up my phone. I wish I never met your ass. Sometimes it be like that, but I'm not myself the night you're gone. There ain't no way I'm moving alone. I'm not afraid I need your bed. Sometimes it be like that. Cause you put us on my mind.
Stop the clocks, it's amazing. You should see the way the light dances off your head. A million colors of hazel, golden and red. Saturday morning is fading. The sun's reflected by the coffee in your hand. My eyes are caught in your gaze all over again. We were love drunk, waiting on a miracle, trying to find ourselves in the winter snow. So alone in love, like the world had disappeared. Oh, I won't be silent and I won't let go. I will hold on tight until the afterglow, and we'll burn so bright till the darkness softly clears. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. The weather outside's changing. The leaves are buried under 6 inches of white. The radio is playing I Run Away. Oh, this is a new dimension. This is a level where we're losing track of time. I'm holding nothing against it except you and I. We were love drunk, waiting on a miracle, trying to find ourselves in the winter snow. So alone in love, like the world had disappeared. Oh, I won't be silent and I won't let go. I will hold on tight until the afterglow, and we'll burn so bright till the darkness softly clears. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow.
It's a shadow with a kiss on your mama's couch. 2012 was nothing serious. And then we got this feels really, really real. Too good to be true, I guess I thought you was. Why did I run away, run away, run away? Oh, your love was everything, everything, everything. I know it's getting late, getting late, getting late, but can I still be on my way, baby? And though I say goodbye and baby you say it too, but when I touch her I feel like I'm cheating on you. And though I could be better when I'm with someone new, but when I touch her I feel like I'm cheating on you. Baby, I'm cheating on you. Thought I'd get you back any time of day. Should have been so cocky, shouldn't did you wrong. And I will miss you back, really, really bad. Guess you don't know what you got until it's gone. Why did I run away, run away, run away? Oh, your love was everything, everything, everything. I know it's getting late, getting late, getting late, but can I still be on my way, baby? I know I say goodbye, but baby you said it too. But when I touch her I feel like I'm cheating on you. I know I could be better when I'm with someone new, but when I touch her I feel like I'm cheating on you. Baby, I'm cheating on you. There are no lips like your lips, and nobody else feels like this. More moving on, I'll admit. If you go away, but baby you said it too. But when I touch her I feel like I'm cheating on you. I know I could be better when I'm with someone new, but when I touch her I feel like I'm cheating on you.
This night is cold in the kingdom. I can feel you fade away. From the kitchen to the bathroom sinking, your steps keep me awake. Don't cut me down, throw me out, let me hear the waste. I once was a man with dignity and grace. Now I'm slipping through the cracks of a cold embrace. So please, please, could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy out again, show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. Cold skin to my feet on the tile as I'm walking down the corridor, and I know we haven't talked in a while, so I'm looking for an open door. Don't cut me down, throw me out, let me hear the waste. I once was a man with dignity and grace. Now I'm slipping through the cracks of a cold embrace. So please, please, could wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly.
I fell by the wayside like everyone else. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, but I was just kidding myself. How every moment I started to replace, 'cause now that they're gone, all I need are the words that I needed to say. When these hurts under the surface, like troubled water running cold. Well, time can heal, but this won't. So before you go, was there something I couldn't say to make your heart beat better? If only I have known you at a storm to weather. So before you go, was there something I couldn't say to make it all stop? Hurry, it kills me how your mind can make you feel so worthless. So before you go. Was never the right time whenever you call. Went little by little by little until there was nothing at all. How every moment I started to play, but all I can think about is seeing the look in your face. When you were under the surface, like troubled water running cold. Well, some can heal, but this won't. So before you go, was there something I couldn't say to make your heart beat better? If only I have known you at a storm to weather. So before you go, was there something I couldn't say to make it all stop? Hurry, it kills me how your mind can make you feel so worthless. So before you go. Before you go, was there something I couldn't say to make it all stop? Hurry, it kills me how your mind can make you feel so worthless. So before you go.
Yelling at the sky, screaming at the world. Baby, why'd you go away? I'm still your boy. Holding on too tight, head up in the clouds. Heaven only knows where you are now. How do again? How do I trust again? I stay up all night, tell myself I'm alright. Baby, you just harder to see than most. I put a record on, wait till I hear a song. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Never got the chance to say your last goodbye. I gotta move on, but it hurts to try. How do I love again? How do I trust again? I stay up all night, tell myself I'm alright. Baby, you just harder to see than most. I put a record on, wait till I hear a song. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. How do I love again? How do I trust again? I stay up all night, tell myself I'm alright. Baby, you just harder to see than most. I put a record on, wait till I hear a song. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost.
Every breath you take and every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every single day and every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see? You belong to me. How my poor heart aches with every step you take and every move you make and every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake, I'll be watching you. Every single day, every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Since you're gone, I've been lost without a trace, dreaming that I can only see your face. I look around, but it's you I can't replace. Oh, can't you say you belong to me? How my poor heart aches with every step you take balloons are deflated. Guess they look lifeless like me. We miss you on your side of the bed. Still got your things here. They stare at me like souvenirs. Don't wanna let you out my head. Just like the day that I met you, the day I thought forever. Said that you love me, but that'll last forever. It's cold outside, like when you walked out my life. Why you walk out my life? I get like this every time. On these days I feel like you and me. Heartbreak anniversary. 'Cause I remember every time. On these days I feel like you and me. Heartbreak anniversary. Do you ever think of me? No. No, no. Ooh, no. I'm building my hopes up. Presents unopened till this day. I still see the messages you read. I'm foolishly patient. Get past the taste of your lips. Don't wanna let you out my head. Just like the day that I met you, the day I thought forever. Said that you love me, but that'll last.
There are reports of major damage in the Pacific island of Tonga after a huge volcanic eruption and widespread tsunami. This is BBC News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Rob, and joining me to talk about this story is Roy. Hello, Roy.
Hello, Rob, and hello, everybody. If you would like to test yourself on the vocabulary around this story, all you need to do is head to our website, bbclearningenglish.com, to take a quiz. But now let's hear more about this story from this BBC News report.
New Zealand has sent an Air Force plane to the island nation of Tonga to make an initial assessment of the damage caused by Saturday's massive volcanic eruption and tsunami. Communications there are mostly down. The International Red Cross says it fears large-scale devastation and is preparing relief operations for people who may now lack drinking water or shelter. The aid agency Save the Children is also trying to provide assistance.
So, a massive volcanic eruption and tsunami hit Tonga, an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. At the moment, due to this event, it has been difficult to get news from Tonga. New Zealand have sent a plane to look at the level of damage, and aid agencies and charities are planning to try and help for fear that the number of people are without shelter and water.
And we have 3 words and expressions from the news headlines to help us talk about this story. What are they, please, Roy?
Yes, we do. We have cut off, step up, and go dark.
That's cut off, step up, and go dark. OK, could we have a look at the first news headline, please, Roy?
OK, so our first news headline is from The Independent, and it reads, "Tsunami threat recedes and casualty reports are yet to come in as Tonga remains cut off."
That's cut off, isolated, unable to be contacted.
Yes, so cut off is usually seen as a phrasal verb which is separable. First word cut, C-U-T, second word off, O-double-F. And as I said, it's separable, so you can cut somebody or something off, or you can cut off something or somebody. And it means to be out of contact or to stop contact.
Okay, now I'm familiar with those 2 words. We know what a cut is. That's something you can do with scissors, like cut your hair. And off, of course, is the opposite of on. So it's to stop something, you turn it off.
Yeah. So, for example, cut is about severing a communication or severing contact, if you like. And in the sense of cut off, what it means in the headline is that all communications have been stopped for a period of time.
Now, we also use cut off when we're talking about utilities like electricity or water.
Being able to contact somebody, but a village in that sense, cut off by the snow, means that there's no way to get to the village or for people to leave. It's cut off, isolated from the outside world. Now, there is also another interesting way to use cut off. It's when somebody is speaking and they're trying to say something like, for example, tell a story, and the other person stops them from speaking.
Oh, yeah. Can I just cut you off there, please, Roy?
Well, you did, didn't you?
I don't want to hear one of your stories again, okay?
But it's about my dog.
I'm going to cut you off there.
Great example. So you stopped me from speaking. You ended my communication again, if you like.
Yeah. I'm going to cut you off again, and let's have a summary of that expression.
Very good.
We've talked quite a bit about coronavirus here on News Review. Now, one of the strains that developed last year meant that the UK was cut off. There's that expression again, cut off, because we weren't allowed to travel. So how can we watch that video again, please, Roy?
All you need to do is click the link in the description below.
Just down below. Thank you. Right, it's time now to look at our next news headline, please.
Okay, so the next news headline comes from the Taiwan News, and it reads, Australia, New Zealand step up efforts to aid tsunami-hit Tonga.
So that's step up, increase intensity of something.
Okay, so it's another phrasal verb, step up. First word step, S-T-E-P, second word up, and it means to increase the intensity of something. For example, step up efforts. Quite commonly we say step up my effort or step up our efforts.
Okay, and also another example, I guess, when a situation becomes dangerous, we might step up the security.
Yeah, that's correct. So, for example, maybe there's a bomb threat and people are worried, so they decide to increase the number of security guards. They step up security.
Okay, now my boss said the other day that I should step up and take control. I mean, what does he mean by that?
Well, this is another meaning of the word step up. And it basically means to assume responsibility or to take responsibility. So, for example, he was telling you to take responsibility for the situation.
Okay, message understood. And finally, you can have a step up or a big step up in your career as well.
Yeah, great example. So, for example, maybe you're a worker, just a sort of mid-level worker, middle management, I don't know. And suddenly you get promoted several levels to become the CEO of the company. It's a big step up in your career. The step up in that sense is hyphenated and it's a noun. So the hyphen comes step hyphen up.
Great. Thanks for that explanation of step up. Let's have a summary. We've made a programme about the active and passive voice. So Roy, tell us how we can watch it.
Well, all you need to do is click the link in the description below.
Just down below. Great. Let's have a look now at your next news headline, please.
Yes. Okay, so our next headline comes from 9 News Australia and it reads, Cluster of eruptions expected. Tonga communications go dark following tsunami.
That's go dark, stop communications, especially for a long period of time.
Yes, so this is a 2-word expression. First word go, G-O. Second word dark, D-A-R-K. And it means to be out of communications or to stop communication.
Okay, and I've heard this expression used quite a bit in spy movies when, spies go dark.
Yeah, great example. So, for example, maybe a spy or a secret agent is on a secret mission, and we say that they are undercover, where they are on this secret mission pretending to be somebody different. And then suddenly they are worried that somebody has discovered that they are a spy. So they decide to go dark, which means they stop communications. Effectively, they disappear.
Yeah, just to clarify, they're not going dark by turning the lights off.
No. An interesting expression there is when we talk about their secret identity being discovered, we say that they have a cover identity, and then we say their cover has been blown. To blow somebody's cover, which means to reveal them. And that is a reason that they disappear, they stop communicating, they go dark.
But we're not talking about spies here, are we? We're getting back to this news story here.
No, we're not. So, for example, in the case of the headline, when we're talking about Tonga going dark, it basically means because of this situation, their communications have gone down. It means that they're no longer able to communicate. Now, another way that we maybe use go dark is, for example, a celebrity on social media. If they stop using social media for a while, we could say that the celebrity has gone dark. Or in terms of a company, if they cease or stop activities or again communication, we may say that that company has gone dark. But it's more commonly used to talk about general communication.
Great. Yeah, and of course, at the end of the day, when the sun sets, it goes dark, doesn't it?
It does. No more daylight. At the end of the day, suddenly the world goes dark.
Okay, let's have a summary of that expression. It's time now to have a recap of the expressions we've talked about today. Could you tell us what they are, please, Roy?
Yes, we had cut off, isolated, unable to be contacted. We had step up, increase intensity of something. And we had go dark, stop communications, especially for a long time.
And don't forget, you can test yourself on this vocabulary by going to our website where there's a quiz. And of course, our website is the place to go to for lots of learning English resources. The address is bbclearningenglish.com. And don't forget, you can check us out on social media as well. Well, that's all for today's news review. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
COP26 is underway in Glasgow, but ahead of the conference, a leaked report seen by the BBC showed that some countries were trying to get a change made to a crucial scientific report. I'm Neil, this is News Review from BBC Learning English, and joining me is Roy. Hi, Roy.
Hi, Neil, and hello, everybody. If you would like to test yourself on the vocabulary around this story, head to our website, bbclearningenglish.com, to take a quiz. But now let's hear more about this story from this BBC News report.
Leaked documents seen by BBC News have set out how countries including Australia, Saudi Arabia and Brazil have tried to get a key United Nations report on how to tackle global warming watered down.
Okay, so the story is this. BBC News has seen some leaked documents that suggest that some countries are trying to change a crucial scientific report on climate change.
Well, you've been looking at this story and scanning the various headlines to see how people are talking about it. What 3 items of vocabulary have you got?
We have water down, spanner in the works, and lobbying.
Water down, spanner in the works, and lobbying. So let's start with your first headline there, please, Roy.
Okay, so our first headline comes from Politico, and it reads, "Leaked documents show major polluters trying to water down UN climate report."
Water down. Make something less effective. Weaken.
Okay, so this expression is spelled W-A-T-E-R, second word D-O-W-N. And like you said, it's the idea of making something weaker or less effective.
Okay, so I was a little bit confused, Roy, because I assumed because this is a climate change story that we've got the word water and down here because there's increased flooding or raining. Is that not the case?
No. That's a more literal meaning. So, for example, water levels can go down or they can go up. But in this sense, first of all, let's talk about, it's more of a figurative meaning. So let's talk about coffee. Do you like strong coffee?
I do. I do love strong espresso style coffee. But you know what, Roy? It's sometimes it's a little bit too strong. I want something, a bit of a longer drink. So I have an Americano.
Okay, so what is an Americano then?
An Americano is an espresso style coffee, but it's had water added to it, hot water. It's been watered down to make it less strong.
So that's where the expression is from. The idea of adding water to something like the espresso to make it less strong, to make it weaker, to lessen that impact that it has on you. Now, in the headline, we're not talking about coffee. We're talking about a document. So we use this expression in a figurative way. So we say water down the impact of a document. And it's the same idea, to lessen the impact or the importance of something, to water it down.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. There is another word which has the same meaning as water down. Dilute. So we have dilute and we have water down. Dilute sounds like a word that has the same meaning in many different, especially Latin languages. So why can't I just use dilute? Why do I need to use this word water down?
Well, this is a great question, and you absolutely can use dilute if you wish to use it. And you said it's got a Latin root. Now, quite often these words, these Latin origin words, they're quite formal. They're more formal than their kind of phrasal verb counterparts. Phrasal verbs are much more natural in speech or in kind of informal English, natural everyday English. So if you kind of want to sound more natural and when you're talking, use a phrasal verb, use water down. But obviously, if you want to be formal, maybe you're writing a scientific report, you would use the word dilute. And that word dilute has the same meaning both figuratively and literally. You can dilute something with water, or you can dilute the impact of a document.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get a summary. If you would like to watch another program with the topic of coffee, we have the perfect one for you. Coffee smells great, doesn't it, Roy? But it never quite tastes as good as it smells. Why is that?
Well, I'm not so sure, but this 6-Minute English has the answers for you. So grab a biscuit, dunk it in your coffee like Rob would, and click the link in the description below to watch it.
Absolutely. Okay, let's have a look at your next headline.
Okay, so our next headline comes from Down to Earth, and it reads, "These countries plan to throw a spanner in COP26 works, warn BBC."
Spanner in the works. Something that stops a plan from succeeding. So, Roy, I know what a spanner is. This is a spanner. What are we doing talking about spanners in reference to this climate change conference?
Okay, yeah, well, that is a spanner. There you go, perfect. So what we use a spanner for, it's an essential tool for engine maintenance or working on machines. So for example, you can use it, I believe, to tighten or loosen nuts and bolts. Now, what happens, Neil, if you hold that spanner and suddenly you drop the spanner into the engine? What happens?
That's going to be bad, isn't it, Roy? Because the engine is a very smooth running machine. And if you throw this into it, this hard piece of metal, it's going to make everything stop or not work properly.
So yeah, basically that's the idea of the spanner in the works. Now, we're not talking about the literal meaning. Again, we've gone to a figurative meaning. But the idea of a spanner in the works is that same idea of stopping the engine working. So it's something that is stopping a project or, for example, the impact of a document from working. So a spanner in the works is a problem that stops a situation from fulfilling itself, if you like.
Yeah. Now, you've got an example of a spanner in the works, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And it's a very sad one, to be honest, Neil. My wife and my son, we all live together in Brazil. And at this, about 2 years ago, we decided to move to the UK together. And my wife was getting her visa and everything was organized. She went back to Brazil to finalize processes. And then tragically, COVID hit, which has been tragic for a lot of families around the world. And my wife and a child, they couldn't get here. So it really threw a spanner in the works in our plan.
It did. It threw a spanner in the works. And COVID has been throwing a spanner in the works for everyone, really, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, in our case, it was a smooth plan that we had. But as it says, something came along and it was unexpected. and it threw a spanner in the works there. But obviously, to be positive, our love has got us through this, and I'll be seeing her very soon.
Brilliant, yes. So there are a couple of words that go with spanner in the works, aren't there? There's throw.
Yes, and we also use the word put. So you can put a spanner in the works, and you can throw a spanner in the works.
Okay, well, let's get a summary. Well, talking of spanners, which are used, of course, for fixing things, generally, if you don't throw them into machinery, we have a program about fixing things, don't we, Roy?
Yes, we do. And all you need to watch it is click the link in the description below.
Let's have a look at your next headline.
Okay, so our next headline comes from here at home at the BBC, and it reads, COP26. Document leak reveals nations lobbying to change key climate report.
Lobbying. Trying to persuade someone in authority to do something.
Yes, so this word is spelled Lobbying, and it means to try and persuade somebody to change something or to do something, and it's commonly used to talk about governmental figures or politicians.
Okay, that's interesting. You said it's about changing people's opinions or persuading people. But at the beginning of this word, we see another word, lobby. Now, a lobby is a room or a space between other rooms where people might pass each other. What is the connection between a lobby and changing people's opinion?
Well, that's a really great question. Now, in most parliaments around the world, they have these huge rooms that we know as lobbies, and politicians would pass through there, and people would try and grab them, not necessarily physically, but try and get their attention to try and persuade them to do things in this lobby. So that's where the origin of this word probably comes from.
Yeah, that's right. And a person who does this, it's actually a job, is called a lobbyist.
Absolutely. And also a group of people that are trying to achieve this or do this are known as a lobby as well. So, and one thing that's really important to talk about here is the prepositions that we use after it. You can lobby for something when you're pro an idea, or you can lobby against something when you're anti. And also we use it commonly with the infinitive. So you can lobby to change something or lobby to do something, or you can lobby the government to do something or to change something.
Absolutely right. Okay, let's get a summary. Time now for a recap of the vocabulary, please, Roy.
Yes, we had water down, make something less effective, weaken. We had spanner in the works, something that stops a plan from succeeding. And we had lobbying, trying to persuade someone in authority to do something.
If you want to test yourself, there's a quiz on our website, bbclearningenglish.com, and we're all over social media. Join us again next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
A volcano has erupted on the Spanish island of La Palma. Thousands have been forced to evacuate. I'm Neil, and this is News Review from BBC Learning English. Joining me today is Roy. Hi, Roy.
Hello, Neil, and hello, everybody. If you would like to test yourself on the vocabulary around this story, all you need to do is head to our website, bbclearningenglish.com, to take a quiz. But now let's hear more about this story from this BBC News report.
A volcano has erupted on the island of La Palma in the Canaries. Thousands of people living in 4 villages were evacuated as rivers of lava poured down the hillside. The volcano last erupted 50 years ago.
So a volcano has erupted on the Spanish island of La Palma, which is one of the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa. It is home to around 80,000 people, and at the moment, 5,000 people have been evacuated. Now, this volcano has not erupted for the last 50 years, and at the moment, fortunately, nobody has been seriously hurt, and we really hope it stays that way.
Yes, we do. Now, you've been looking around the various news websites, and picked out some really useful vocabulary we can use to talk about this story and other things. What have you got?
We have spewing, streaming, and scramble.
Spewing, streaming, and scramble. Okay, let's start then with your first headline, please, Roy.
So our first headline comes from right here in the UK from the Mirror, and it reads, "Volcano erupts on Canary Islands, spewing lava into air after earthquake swarm."
Spewing, coming out in large amounts.
Yes, so this word is spelled Spewing, and it means to expel a large amount of liquid or gas, often with force. So it's like a pressured release of liquid or gas. Now, if you think in the case of the volcano, you can imagine that lava is just forcibly coming out of the top of the volcano and going all down the sides of the volcano.
Yeah, and lots of it. That's key, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. So another way we can use it as well is to talk about smoke. Now, you can also imagine that the volcano is spewing smoke into the atmosphere, but we can also use it in terms of, for example, cars. Can you think of an example where a car was spewing smoke?
Yeah, absolutely. I was driving last night, actually. I was coming home from a friend's house, and every time we stopped at the traffic light, the car in front, when it started again, loads of exhaust spewed out of the exhaust pipe at the back. There's lots of this smoke. It was going into my car, and it was very smelly. It wasn't very nice.
Oh no, it sounds horrible. And it was spewing out black smoke. So again, it's that forcible and release of liquid or gas. Now, we don't only use it for liquids and gases, do we? We have another meaning. We use it with paper. So, for example, maybe you're printing a lot of documents and your printer has a malfunction and it just spews out paper everywhere, just continuously spewing out paper. And you're trying to press the button, but you can't stop it. That's another way that we might use spewing.
Yeah, and you can imagine that maybe with a cash machine as well, where the money doesn't stop. It comes flying out as if it's a continuous flow.
Sadly, that's never happened to me. I've always hoped that the cash machine would spew out lots of cash, but it's never happened.
And there is another meaning, a far more, not very nice meaning. It can be used, particularly in British English, to mean to vomit.
Absolutely. So again, it's this same idea. If we go back to the volcano with the spewing of lava, the forced expulsion of lava, we use it as well to talk about a person who is vomiting. Maybe you're not very well and you spew. And it's commonly used with the preposition up, to spew up.
Absolutely. Let's move away from that, Roy. I'm beginning to feel a little bit ill. Let's get a summary, please. Unfortunately, it seems there are lots of natural disasters going on in the world at the moment. We have a story about the California wildfires, which you might want to watch. Where can our viewers find it, Roy?
All you need to do is click the link in the description below.
Okay, let's move on now to our next headline, please.
Okay, so our next headline comes from the UK, from The Guardian, and it reads, "Spanish Canary Island volcano erupts, sending lava streaming towards villages."
Streaming, flowing continuously. Now, Roy, streaming, everybody knows what streaming is. When I listen to music these days, I don't put on a CD, I don't put on a record, I stream it. What's the connection between my listening habits and the use of the word here with a volcano?
Well, this is a great example. Now, when you're listening to music, do you like it to be continuous or do you like it to be interrupted? Maybe there's a problem with it. How do you prefer it?
Continuous.
Absolutely. So we use the word streaming to talk about a continuous flow of something. So in this case, we're talking about data or information across the internet. That music is streaming across the internet. It is a constant flow of that information. And another good example of this using information across the internet is to talk about video gamers. There's a lot of people who stream content on various sites on the internet showing off they're playing video games. They are streaming their content across the internet, a continuous flow of these video games.
Yeah, and a very simple way to remember this is that the name of this sort of little river, a little river is a stream, isn't it? And what happens in a river? There is a flow of water, a continuous flow.
Yes, definitely very much the origin there of that word. So the continuous flow of water down the stream, the water is streaming.
Also, we can use this word streaming to describe what happens to your nose when you have a very bad cold.
So first we had spew for vomit, and now we're talking about problems related to noses and eyes. So yeah, when you have maybe a heavy cold, quite often your nose will expel or flow with a lot of liquid. Likewise, your eyes, we sometimes say your eyes are running. But you can also say your nose is streaming when it's a constant flow of liquid thanks to a heavy cold, or your eyes are streaming. And likewise, when you're very upset, you're very emotional, you cry, and you can say tears are streaming down your face.
Absolutely. It's like sort of rivers, streams coming down your face.
Yeah, especially when you have a cold, sometimes it can be really heavy.
Or an allergic reaction.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get a summary. Okay, we've been talking about streams, liquids, water, and we have a story about water and the moon. Where can our viewers find it, Roy?
All you need to do is click the link in the description below.
Let's have a look at your next headline.
So my next headline comes from the UK, from the Daily Mail, and it reads: Volcano erupts on Spanish island La Palma as rescuers scramble to evacuate 5,000 residents.
Scramble. Move quickly in response to a dangerous situation.
Yes, so this word is spelled S-C-R-A-M-B-L-E. And it can be used as both a verb and a noun with the same spelling, but in the headline, it is being used as a verb. Now, when we scramble, quite often it's talking about a quick response. There isn't much time to plan, and it's just a very rapid response. So in the case of the headline, the rescuers are scrambling to help people.
Yeah, there's a lot of action. It can seem disorganized. It's urgent, isn't it?
It's all about being unplanned. Time is of the essence. It's a bit of chaos, a lot of maybe loud shouting and movements, but fundamentally these people, the rescuers, are highly trained. They know what they're doing, so they're able to cope with these unplanned situations. And likewise, when you think of a fire, if there's a fire, a house is on fire, at the fire station, the fire officers will scramble into their fire engine. They'll go down their pole. I'm not sure if they still do that, but they'll get into their vehicle. They're highly trained for these unplanned situations, but they scramble to respond to the dangerous situation.
Yeah, likewise airplanes. If there's some kind of attack or something, you hear about planes being scrambled.
Yeah, this is quite commonly used in the military. So it's a military response. They scramble their fighter jets or they scramble their fighter planes to deal with a threat that may be coming towards them.
Yeah. We also use the word scramble with there's a connection, but it's a slightly different meaning when you're climbing a hill or a mountain.
Yeah, so again, it's about this fast-paced movement. Now, I'm not very good at climbing mountains or hills, so I scramble up them. My hands and my arms and my legs are going everywhere. It's a kind of chaotic and erratic movement to try and scramble up a hill. Have you scrambled up any hills recently?
Not recently, but I'm planning to this weekend. I'm going to visit the English Lake District, where there are plenty of hills to scramble up.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, and one further meaning of scramble, which you may well have heard, is connected to eggs. I love scrambled eggs. What connects this idea of scramble to the ones we've been talking about?
Okay, so when you scramble your eggs, you cook your eggs and then you take a fork or a whisk and you rapidly sort of beat these eggs without sort of a plan. It's kind of chaotic movement, very fast, to mix these eggs together. So you can scramble your eggs, mixing them together. And that idea of it being fast and quite chaotic is carried over from the meaning. But this case, it's about mixing something.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's get a summary. Time now then, Roy, for a recap of our vocabulary, please.
Yes, we had spewing, coming out in large amounts. We had streaming, flowing continuously. And we had scramble, move quickly in response to a dangerous situation.
If you want to test yourself on the vocabulary, go to our website, bbclearningenglish.com, and there's a quiz you can take, and plenty of other stuff to help you improve your English. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Rob and joining me today is Neil. Hello, Neil.
Hi, Rob. Hello, everybody. We've got an interesting story about space exploration and its future today. The companies SpaceX and NASA have been working together. Astronauts have returned from the International Space Station by splashing down into the ocean. And that's the first time people have returned to Earth from space in that manner for 45 years.
And don't forget you can test yourself on the vocabulary that we're talking about today on our website at bbclearningenglish.com, where you'll find a quiz. Okay, now it's time to find out what was going on in the control room when the astronauts landed.
We have visual confirmation for splashdown.
SpaceX copies and concurs. We see splashdown and mains cut.
Dragon Endeavour has returned home. NASA astronauts Bob and Doug.
On behalf of the SpaceX and NASA teams, welcome back to planet Earth, and thanks for flying SpaceX.
Okay, so we heard there the control room with NASA astronauts splashing down into the ocean after a trip to the International Space Station. They went on a commercial operator into space, and normally they go up with NASA rockets. This time they paid SpaceX, a company, to provide that rocket for them, and experts are saying this is a real game changer for space exploration because it's the way that it's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, and we've got 3 words and expressions that you can learn about to help you talk about this story, haven't we, Neil?
We have plummeting, starstruck, and prank.
That's plummeting, starstruck, and prank. Okay, should we start with your first headline?
Yeah, the first headline is from the Business Insider website, and it reads, "New video shows SpaceX's astronaut crew plummeting through Earth's atmosphere, floating under parachutes, and landing in the ocean."
So that's plummeting, falling quickly and suddenly.
Yes, plummeting, spelt Plummeting.
Sounds like a very dramatic word, doesn't it?
Yes, and I think that's the key. You know, people might say, well, why can't I just say falling, because it means falling, but plummeting has that sense of falling rapidly and suddenly.
So if I was to go for a walk down the street and I trip over on the pavement, would I be plummeting down to the ground?
No, not really. Unless you wanted to sound really kind of dramatic, or you wanted to say in a kind of comedic way, a funny way, that you were very, very tall and you had to fall a distance. But actually, we wouldn't use it for that. It would be more to describe something like, for example, maybe you are on the Eiffel Tower in Paris and you're leaning over the edge, you've got a water bottle, it slips from your hand. Now that water bottle is going to plummet down to earth. It's going to hit the ground hard and it's going to travel very quickly, and it would have happened very suddenly, and that's what plummeting is.
Sounds very dangerous actually if you're travelling at such a speed as well.
Absolutely, that actually happened to me. Fortunately it didn't hit me. I was standing on the ground outside the Eiffel Tower and a bottle landed right next to me, and it could only have come from the top of the Eiffel Tower. It plummeted. That bottle plummeted towards Earth and just missed me.
Thank goodness. So you can be here today to present this programme.
Thanks.
And there's quite a literal use to this word plummeting, isn't there?
It is, yes, but we often hear it used in a more sort of figurative sense, and especially in connection with the world of business. So we might hear about share prices, for example, that fall dramatically and suddenly. We might hear share prices plummeting, or the value of a currency, or particularly at the moment with the coronavirus and the fact that people aren't shopping and things like that as normal, sales have plummeted. Sales have plummeted over the last few months, and it has really badly affected the world economy.
That's right. And also I noticed I went into London this week for the first time, and there weren't so many people around. There were fewer visitors because visitor numbers have plummeted because people can't travel anymore, I suppose.
Absolutely. The number of tourists has plummeted, and it's made a very strange summer here in the Northern Hemisphere anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, let's have a look at a summary of that word. Okay, Neil, let's have a look at your second headline.
Second headline comes from the WCAX.com website, and the headline reads, Starstruck, SpaceX Dragon splashes down, Mars mission.
Okay, so that's starstruck. Describes someone who admires famous people greatly.
Yes, we have a two-word expression here. Star is the first word, S-T-A-R. The second word is struck, S-T-R-U-C-K. Usually this has a hyphen, but it does not have a hyphen in this headline.
Okay, well, I was starstruck today when I came in and found out that I was presenting with you, Neil.
Oh, yes. Are you suggesting that I'm famous, Rob? Because
yes, I am.
Because I had exactly the same feeling, and in fact, I have that feeling right now. You are so incredibly famous that I have this feeling of admiration for you.
Okay,
slightly
so
intimidating.
we're equally starstruck.
Slightly intimidating me.
We are joking, of course. There are more famous people who we get starstruck about, aren't there?
Yes, you may not believe it, but there are even more famous people than me and Rob in the world. And you have met one of the most famous people in the world, Rob.
Yes, that's Paul McCartney. Sir Paul McCartney from the Beatles, who I met a few years ago. I got a chance to interview him. I was so starstruck that I almost forgot the questions that I was supposed to ask him. And I must also say that he wasn't starstruck when he met me.
He would be if he met you now.
Maybe. But it is that admiration, isn't it, for somebody famous?
Yeah.
Somebody you really kind of have a lot of admiration. You really admire the things they've done.
Absolutely. It's a bit weird in this title, though, isn't it?
Yes, that's true. This headline has got nothing to do with famous people, really, has it?
No, it hasn't. And this is, as people who watch News Review regularly will know, headline writers love a little joke with words. And that's what we have here. Because starstruck, as we've been discussing, is about that feeling you get when you meet someone or you see someone incredibly famous. This story is not about meeting somebody famous, but it is about space. And so the word star is relevant. So they just put this expression in as a little joke, really.
We might be starstruck if we met a famous astronaut, maybe.
Yeah, if you met a famous astronaut or the astronauts from this space flight, you might be starstruck. You might be starstruck if you met Elon Musk, who is the owner of SpaceX and an incredibly famous and rich man.
Indeed. Okay, well, let's have a look at a summary of Starstruck. If you like stories about space exploration, we have a great story for you, haven't we, Neil?
We do. We've got a story about SpaceX, which we did a while ago on News Review, about the time when I think the first time they put a reused or reusable rocket into space. You can find the link to that program down below.
Okay, let's have a look at our next headline.
Our next headline is from the Mail Online website, and it is Space Dads Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken make prank calls in SpaceX's Dragon capsule following splashdown in Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, so the word is prank. That's joke, trick.
Yes, prank, spelt P-R-A-N-K. Here used as an adjective, a prank call. It describes the type of call. What's a prank call, Rob?
Well, it's a phone call you make to somebody to make a fool of them, really, and make them look stupid.
Yeah, so it's a call you make to someone as a joke. You might, for example, pretend to be a person that you are not, or you might make a claim or say something that isn't true in order to make the other person, to deceive the other person, to make a joke on the other person.
And I know all about prank phone calls, don't I, Neil?
Yes, is it time to share with everyone the prank call I made about a year ago to you?
I think you should.
Yeah. So, some of you may be aware that Rob does like a biscuit or two. And we may have mentioned that on News Review in the past, once or twice. And the fact is that one day I thought that I would tell Rob in a prank call that we had ordered a huge pallet full of biscuits to the office in order to get him to come in early, because the truth is that Rob, he's not really an early riser. So we tried to get him into the office. But what happened when you got in, Rob?
Well, I mean, it worked. I did get in early, and I got there, and there was nothing to be seen. No box of biscuits.
You realised that we had pranked you.
Yeah, I had been pranked.
Absolutely. There, you can see we're using it as a verb. So we have it in the headline there as an adjective, a prank call. But we can say that you prank someone, or that someone has been pranked. Or you can even say to play a prank on someone. That's the structure, to play a prank on someone. And we played a prank on you, didn't we, Rob?
Yes, and this is quite a big prank. I wasn't very happy, but to be honest, pranks are generally quite harmless, aren't they? They're a bit of fun.
The intention is that they are harmless. Sometimes they can go horribly wrong, of course, but the intention is that they are light-hearted.
Not this time, Neil.
I'm sorry.
I've forgiven you now. Okay, let's have a summary of the word prank. Okay, so Neil, could you recap today's vocabulary, please?
Absolutely. We had plummeting, falling quickly and suddenly. Starstruck describes someone who admires famous people greatly. And prank, joke, trick.
And don't forget, you can test yourself on today's vocabulary by going to our website at bbclearningenglish.com, where there is a quiz. And don't forget that BBC Learning English is all over social media as well. Okay, Neil, thanks very much for joining us today, and thanks to everybody for watching. Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Hello and welcome to News Review from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil. Joining me today is Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Neil, and hello, everybody. Yes, Oscars news today. Chloe Zhao has become the first woman of colour and only the second woman ever to win the Best Director Oscar.
If you want to test yourself on any vocabulary that you hear in our programme today, there's a quiz on our website at bbclearningenglish.com. Now let's find out some more about that Oscar victory from this BBC News report.
Nomadland. Nomadland won Best Picture, and its lead, Frances McDormand, won her third Oscar for her portrayal of a widow and her journey through grief and the American West. Nomadland's director, Beijing-born Chloe Zhao, won her craft's highest accolade, becoming only the second woman to win that category in the award's 93-year history.
Yes, so the Oscars on Sunday night, and director Chloe Zhao, who was born in Beijing, won the Best Director Oscar. Now, she is the first woman of colour to win this award, and she's only the second woman in 93 years to win this particular Oscar. Now, Nomadland did really well at the Oscars. Not only did we get this one, but also it won in the Best Picture category, and Frances McDormand won the Best Actor award.
Okay, well, you've been looking around the various news websites and checking out what language is useful for talking about this story. What have you got?
We have glory, upsets and snubs.
Glory, upsets and snubs. Let's start with your first headline then, please.
Okay, so we are right here in the UK with the BBC. The headline, Oscars 2021, Nomadland, Anthony Hopkins and Daniel Kaluuya share glory.
Glory, praise and honour for a great achievement.
Yes, it's a noun. It's spelled G-L-O-R-Y, glory. Now, we often use this word with the in front of it. If you get the glory for something, you get all the praise, you get all the recognition. Everybody says how great you are. Remember that show you made, Neil, English for Cats?
Ah, the glory.
The glory. Everybody thought it was wonderful. Not. And everyone said how great it was and how wonderful you were. You were the man of the moment for a while. You got the glory for that wonderful achievement.
It was my moment of glory.
Yes, good phrase. If you have a moment of glory or if something is your moment of glory, that's a time when you do something fantastic and everybody recognises it. Everyone says how great you are, how great the thing you did was. Yeah, your moment of glory.
Yes. Now, a common adjective that is connected to this word is glorious.
Yes, if something's glorious, it's wonderful, it's fantastic, it's amazing, it's super. Doesn't always have to be an achievement though. You can open your window one morning and look out and it'll be the weather can be glorious. It means absolutely wonderful. Not an achievement, weather's just weather, but when it's a really lovely day, you can say the weather is glorious.
Yeah, and if we want to say that something is probably a bit better than it really is.
Well, yes, you can glorify something, and this is often to say, as you say, and this happens a lot in advertising. Something's absolutely wonderful and fantastic, and it's actually maybe just average.
Yeah.
You can glorify something.
I went to a fast food outlet recently, and I wanted to buy the absolutely magnificent Glory Burger.
The Glory Burger, yes.
But actually it was just not a very nice piece of possibly beef with a kind of soggy bun and a splodge of ketchup. I think it had been glorified.
Yes, it doesn't sound very glorified. It doesn't sound very glorious. But if the promotion glorified it or they did something to it and said it was better than it was, then yeah, you had a glorified burger.
I did indeed have a glorified burger.
How disappointing.
And the noun for that is glorification.
Yes, glorification. When you try to make something or you say something is better than it really is.
Okay, let's get a summary. We have a programme about a moment of sporting glory, don't we, Catherine?
Yes, we do. Rafa Nadal, his 20th Grand Slam win. If you want to know more about this story, just click the link.
Okay, let's have a look at our next headline, please.
And we're still in the UK, this time with The Guardian. The headline, Oscars 2021. No real upsets, but Chloe Zhao's Nomadland triumph is a wonderful coup.
Upsets. Occasions when someone wins something another person or team was expected to win.
Yes, okay, the spelling UPSETS. This is a plural noun and it's pronounced upsets.
Upsets, as opposed to upsets.
Yes,
yeah. That's a different word.
It is. It's the same spelling, but it's a verb. In the verb form, it's to upset. And the adjective form, if you are upset, you're not happy about something. But in the noun form, it's an upset with the stress on the up.
Yeah, so an upset is when the team that is supposed to have won, or the person who is supposed to have won, doesn't win.
Exactly that.
And I'm afraid I'm going to mention our Brazilian followers might want to cover their eyes. I'm going to mention the World Cup 2014 when Brazil were playing against Germany in the semi-final. Everybody thought Brazil was going to win, and what happened?
It was a big upset.
They lost
7-1. Terrible, terrible. Big upset for Brazil. They were expected to win, but they lost by 6 goals. The final score was 7-1 to Germany. All the Brazilian supporters were very upset about that upset.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. An upset there as an adjective meaning sad, basically.
Yeah.
But all of these words are connected, aren't they? They're all connected, and the key is that word set that you find in the middle.
Yes, exactly. And set means settled or secure. But if you upset something, you unsettle it or you make it not secure. So whether it's the noun, the verb or the adjective, that's the idea. Something that was secure and settled now isn't secure and settled, and that has an effect.
Yeah. So, for example, global warming has upset the climate.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that the climate is sad.
No, the climate isn't crying, no, but the climate has been badly affected. And probably, again, people are upset about the effects of the upset to the climate.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's get a summary. Now, you probably saw the word coup in that last headline, and we have a news review where we talked about the various uses of the word coup.
Yes, to find out more about how to use the word coup, just click the link to go to the programme.
Okay, let's have a look at our next headline, please.
Now we're in the USA with Variety, and the headline, Oscars 2021, the biggest snubs and surprises, from Chadwick Boseman to Frances McDormand.
Snubs. Actions that insult someone by not including them.
Yes, the spelling this time, S-N-U-B-S. Snubs, it's a plural noun in this headline, but you can also use it as a verb. Snubs.
Yeah, so we're talking about when it's expected that somebody would be included at a certain event, for example, and they are not.
And they're not included, yeah, and it's always done or perceived to be an insult. So it's not a pleasant thing to do. To snub somebody is rude, it's not nice. To be snubbed, and that's the passive verb form. If you are snubbed, generally you will be angry and upset about it.
Yeah, like all of our vocabulary today, quite commonly used in the world of sport.
Yes, it can be, yes. If somebody's left out of a team, for example, they can be snubbed. If somebody decides not to participate in a particular event, that can be seen as a snub. So if you don't invite somebody, you snub them. If you refuse an invitation, you snub them that way as well. And yeah, we see it in sporting events.
Yeah, and competitions in general. For example, the International Biscuit Eating Championship.
Well, what an upset that was. My goodness, tell us more, Neil.
Well, I mean, there was only really one obvious winner, wasn't there? Or, I mean,
Rob.
Participant even. And unfortunately, Rob was not even invited to take part.
What a snub was that, my goodness. Yes, Rob was snubbed by the International Biscuit Organising Body. But I think they'll invite him next year, though. I think they'll realise their mistake.
They will, but I think he's going to get his revenge by snubbing them.
Most probably, and I wouldn't blame him.
Now, more seriously, this word is actually quite journalistic, isn't it?
It is. It's nice and short. It's very dramatic. It's the stuff that